Hello, my name is Peter Bricks. I'm a debtor bankruptcy attorney in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm here today to talk to you about the means test in bankruptcy. This is applicable to Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Before I get started, let me read this disclaimer. We are a debt relief agency proudly assisting consumers in filing bankruptcy. However, there is no attorney-client relationship with the viewer of this message unless there is a fee agreement. Your situation is unique to you, and we would need to consult with you individually before we could offer you applicable and accurate legal advice. This information should only be used for educational purposes. The means test, that is a test designed to determine whether you are eligible to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, i.e. do you have the ability to pay your unsecured creditors or not. If you have the ability to pay them over a most basic amount, then you are theoretically ineligible for Chapter 7. That's not no golden rule on that. It's called there's a presumption that you're ineligible, and it's a rebuttable presumption. Conversely, you could run a means test that shows you do not have the ability to pay your unsecured creditors. There would be a rebuttable presumption that you do qualify for 7. And that challenge would almost certainly come from the United States Trustee's Office. They would be arguing you do have an ability to repay your creditors. Now, let's start with the Chapter 7 means test. The means tests are basically identical. Only slight exception is voluntary retirement contributions in a 13 that are not deductible in a 7 means test. Essentially, what the test looks at is it takes your income going back from a 6-month period before your case is filed, 6 full months before your case is filed. So whether you file July 1st or July 31st, you're using your January through June income for the means test. They take your gross of the last 6 months. If you're married or have someone else, if you're married, you absolutely have to count your spouse's income. If you're not married, the question is someone else contributing to your income? They compare that gross income against the household size you are in. So your children obviously count towards your household size. You might have a relative or someone living with you that you're supporting. It's not necessarily the number of dependents on your tax returns. The popular term to describe it is heads on beds in your house. So that is compared, the income is compared to the median income for whatever your household size is. If you're below median income, that's the end of the test for Chapter 7. You are eligible to file Chapter 7 on that basis. You might be ineligible for other reasons, but you are eligible to file for that reason. If you are above median income, then they look at essentially what we call the second prong of the test. We start to count to say, okay, well, maybe it's okay that you're above median. Let's look at your other debts. Let's look at what your secured debts are. What is your mortgage payment, your car payment? What are your arrears on your secured debts? Are you behind on your home or car payment? What are your tax debts? Your income tax debts. What do you pay for child support, court-ordered stuff, alimony? What do you pay for involuntary retirement contributions? Maybe you have union dues or a forced retirement plan. What do you pay for health insurance? Life insurance, disability insurance. What do you contribute to an elderly relative? What do you give to charity? All these things, and there are a few more, are considered more important causes than paying your unsecured creditors. So the question is, after you deduct all those things, is there anything left to pay your unsecured creditors? Basically, once you get over about $180 a month in disposable income after deducting all those things, the presumption's against you. If you're under 110 or so, the presumption's for you. Most Chapter 7 debtors are negative. Or they're below median, so they qualify. But there's certainly some that you couldn't theoretically be making $60,000 in single and not qualify, whereas you could be making $120,000 with 3 kids, an expensive mortgage, and do qualify. So there's no golden rule based on your income other than to say if your income puts you below median income, you're certainly eligible. Chapter 13 So if you fail the Chapter 7 means test and show the ability to repay your creditors and you still want to file bankruptcy, you're probably looking at a Chapter 13. What Chapter 13 determines, Chapter 13 means test determines what your unsecureds are going to get. It's one of the factors in determining what your unsecureds are going to get in your Chapter 13 repayment plan. So you could, in theory, be in a Chapter 13, but the means test spits out that the unsecureds get nothing. That is certainly possible, but the means test might spit out that they should get $900 a month. So you're in a 60. If the means test spits out a positive number, you will be in a 60-month commitment period because you will be an above median income debtor. Okay, so if that means test spits out that you owe $900 a month to your unsecureds, that's 900 times 60, the $54,000, provided you have that much in unsecured debt, that you would have to pay them over the life of the plan. So essentially what the means test is geared towards is determining, is there money left over for your unsecureds, and if so, in what amount? And if then you still wish to file bankruptcy, you need to be in the Chapter 13 repayment plan as opposed to the Chapter 7 discharge liquidation chapter.